Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. I'm excited. I'm excited to finally start this up again. I'm excited you guys can see my hair not doing what I want a lot because that's a vibe. But I have recently decided to start back up again, delete all my old videos and start over. Because I'm not proud of what I had on my channel, so why not? So let me introduce myself. My name is Adinde, or you can call me Addy. I am 24, turning 25 at the end of December, so probably just a week or two after this video has been put up. I'm a teacher of English, so that's really excited. My students will never find this channel, hopefully, because they don't read in English, they don't read in Dutch, so I don't have to be afraid of that. But I have my questions prepared on my iPad because that's my love and my life, and I need guidance to do things like these. So I'm going to start with question number 1 is, why did you start this channel? And I actually started this channel to share my love for books and to find a community with the same interests as me, mainly talking about books and reading books, because people in my area and the people that I'm friends with don't necessarily read a lot of books. I do have one friend that reads a lot, but we have very different tastes, so she doesn't really read the books that I read. So hopefully with my channel I can find some people with the same book interests that I have. Yeah. So question number 2. What are some fun and unique things I can bring to BookTube? Well, I'm a teacher, so hopefully some of the stories that I can tell you are pretty interesting, but also I'm planning on making some videos on how to read in English when English is not your first language, and LGBTQ recommendations. But to be honest, I don't know. I need to define my channel yet, so I hope I can bring my fun personality to BookTube, but we shall see, honestly. So question number 3, what are you most excited for about this new channel? As I said before, I am looking for a fun community, so that's what I'm most excited for, to just hang out with people and meet new people through BookTube. So yeah, I'm pretty open about what's to happen in the future. So we're going to question number 4. Why do you love reading? I love reading ever since I was a child. It's just my escape from reality, to be honest. And it's the only time of day that my brain actually shuts up. I probably have ADHD, so my brain never shuts up. My brain always thinks of things, but when I'm reading, I can be focused for an hour and a half, which is amazing. And I love it very much. So on to question number 5. What book or series got me into reading? So I have 2 main points in my life where I started reading. As a child, it was probably picture books and How Do I Survive. It's a series about a girl who, we start following her in the year 1999, I believe. And it's basically her growing up until she goes to high school. And the author just announced that she is writing a sequel about Rosa, the main character, in college, which is so fun because I grew up with that series and I was the same age as the main character when I started reading it. So it was so much fun. So that's the book series that I mostly remember reading during my primary school and high school. And then we had, obviously, Matilda. Matilda is still one of my favorite children's books. I read it every year, probably multiple times a year. I do see the flaws with Ronald Dahl's writing, but it's still a story that's so close to my heart, and I'm so excited about the musical movie that's coming out. It is out, but it's not going to be on the Dutch Netflix until the end of the month, so I'm so excited. And yeah, a series that got me into reading in English was actually Harry Potter. I've never read it as a child. My parents did not like it, so I did not grow up with a lot of like pop culture things. So I discovered everything when I was in high school. So I discovered reading Harry Potter in English. And I did read the books in Dutch, but I read the English books in this particular order: 7, 2, 3, 1, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. I got the 7th book as a gift because my brother didn't want to read it. So I read the 7th book first, and then I started with number 2 because that's the only one that was available in our library. Then to 1, I believe, not 3, to 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. After that, I immediately reread the series as a whole because by the time I was at book 6, I forgot what happened in book 7, so it's all fine. But that's mainly the series that got me into English reading, which, yeah, now that I'm looking back on it, I'm sad that it's that series and that author, but there's nothing I can do about it because I was 12 and it was really popular. We didn't know about all the things she did, so yeah, we're not gonna say anything about it. And I'm going on to question number 6. What is a question you would like to ask your favorite booktubers? And this is 2 things. That is, how do you keep motivated? Because I have a full-time job. Well, I have 1 day off a week, but it's basically a full-time job. I know a lot of these people have full-time jobs. How do you keep motivated to read 100 books a year, put out 2 videos a week, maybe even 3, and to do all these things on Patreon and stuff? So I have a lot of respect for those people, and I would like to know how they do it. And the other thing is, how did you find your community, like your group of friends? Because I always had the feeling I am not a part of a friend group, like when I grew up and stuff. And I'm afraid it's gonna happen on BookTube too, that I'm just never gonna fit into anything. So yeah, kind of deep, but hopefully that won't happen, but we'll see. So I'm going to question number 7. Yes, I'm putting the correct amount of fingers. And that is, what challenges do you think starting a BookTube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Motivation. I know myself, I have a new hobby. I probably have ADHD. I have a new hobby every 2-3 months and rigorously do it. Like, I started cross-stitching and I haven't touched it in a week. But I'm afraid it's gonna happen with BookTube too. I'm gonna put up some videos, feeling motivated, and then after 2 months I don't see any growth and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, why should I bother? So that's what I'm afraid of happening. Hopefully it won't, because this time I do have a little bit of a community that is keeping me accountable and keeping me motivated, but you'll never know. To question number 8, and that's, at what age did I start reading? I was a very gifted student when I grew up. I'm not anymore. Like, all that gifted has been thrown out of the window and I don't know where it went, but I could actually already read when I was 3 or 4 years old. So I started pretty early, and then when I was in 3rd grade, or 4th grade, we started with like weekly reading sessions, and they found out that I read at such a high level. They had to put me, no, it was 3rd grade. In 3rd grade, they put me with the 4th grade students, but even in the 4th grade student class, I was at the top level of reading. So I was reading books that normally kids aged 10 or 11 were reading, and we flew through them. So that's always, yeah, I loved reading. I was very good at reading, and I'm still mad that in 5th grade my teacher was like, yeah, I see that you were reading at the highest level in 4th grade also, but I'm gonna put you back to the 3rd level of the 12th that we have, and you have to prove to me that you can actually read that high. It took me a full year to convince her that I have read every single book on level 3, 4, 5, and 6 and understood them before she finally let me choose a level 12 book. I hated that reading year because I had already read everything, and I could read like the short sentences. I read full-on novels by that time, so I was pretty mad. But yeah, I started reading when I was 3 or 4. Mainly motivated by my parents and a teacher that actually saw that reading was something I was very good at and motivated me to take on a challenge, and I'm still very happy about her that she did it. I'm going to question number 9. Where do you read? I only have 2 places where I actually read, and that is on my couch in front of the TV, or in my bed, in my bed, although that is not really happening at the moment because when I'm in bed I just fall asleep quickly, or I grab my iPad to watch some YouTube, which is something I'm working on. I used to read a lot on public transport, but now that I have my own car and I don't have to take the train every day anymore because my work is literally a 5-minute bike ride away, I do not read as much as I used to. I read 160 books in 2020, and last year I read 140, I believe, and this year I'm only at 106. So there is a decline in the amount of books that I'm reading, but I'm actually not too mad about it. So on to the last question. So number 10, and the most important part, is what kind of books do I like to read? I do have a favorite genre, but I like to spread it out and read a lot of different genres. But my main genres are YA and adult fantasy, and I do read a lot of LGBTQ contemporary fantasy and everything about like that. I do not like regular contemporary because I am sick and tired of reading about straight relationships. Yeah, I'm just sick and tired of it. I've read a lot of straight contemporary for years and years and years, and right now I want to focus on some wonderful LGBTQ stories that have come up. And I even created a LGBTQ reading list for one of my options at my college, because I did not want to read any books on the YA list. So I got that done, and it's now a permanent feature and a permanent choice for fourth year students that have to choose one or two options, and they can choose a LGBTQ reading list. So I'm very proud of that. But those are the 10 questions that I had prepared. I really hope you guys have found out more about me. If I said anything incorrectly, I am so sorry. I am an English teacher, but I'm teaching a really low grade at the moment, so my English isn't as good as it used to be, but hopefully with a lot of practice and a lot of talking to people, my English will get better eventually, because it's not the worst it's ever been, but a lot of like the hard words have dumbed down because I haven't spoken English in so long, because the world was locked down for years and years, and I did not have any need to speak English. So that was pretty much a bummer. But I hope you enjoyed this, and new videos are coming up because I have a lot prepared, and I hope you enjoyed this, and see you next time. Bye bye.